bison back ribs. And this one I'm going to prepare with my homemade glaze, my secret recipe that I'm going to be sharing with you, which I designed for this recipe, but can be used also for other type of ribs, whether it's pork or beef. And remember, if I can cook it, so can you. So go nowhere. Let's create. This one I purchased at a farm here in Virginia, which is, the name of the farm is Cibola Farms, and they raise bisons, and then they, do their butchering or whatever needs to be done. And they have a little store which is outside the farm, just literally in front of the farm. And this thing is beautiful. Look at this. Is about a little bit over 1.5 pounds, 1.6 pounds. Good price, by the way. See the meat, how red and nice. And that's something people don't know about bison, is that, when it comes to, it has more protein than beef, the chicken without the skin, lamb, or pork. Also, bison meat has less fat than all those 4 type of meats I just mentioned, less calories, and lower in cholesterol. Once again, when you compare them to beef choice, chicken without the skin, lamb choice, and pork. This is, in my opinion, the perfect, or one of the most perfect meats you can eat, bison meat. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to put some ingredients on it to prepare the flavor. And I like to use garlic, which means using a tool like this. I mince it. I have about 3 tubes of garlic for this size. I have some turmeric. I also have salt. I went with the pink Himalayan salt. You can use any type. Some ground black pepper and some smoked paprika, which is the one I prefer for what I'm going to do here. And what I'm going to have handy here is some extra virgin olive oil, just a little bit. And I also have some thyme, and I have some oregano. Not a lot, just a little bit. So we're going to elevate the flavors here. And the way we're going to do that, you're going to marinate this, put the spices together, add the aromatics. You can do that the night before, you can do a few hours before, you can do several minutes before. It's up to you. But what I like doing is, I grab a tiny bit, a few drops of the extra virgin olive oil. Just a few drops, you don't go crazy, just a few drops. And I like to brush a little bit of oil around these babies. The reason for that is because bison is a very, very lean meat. And, I like to add a little bit of that extra virgin olive oil. So when I cook, it doesn't dry too much. Do it a little bit on the other side. See how beautiful they are. You don't put a lot, just a few drops, see? Just a few drops. And I brush it a little bit. Oh my goodness. Something you notice is that between each, you can cut that thin easily. It's not going to be no cartilage on the way, stopping your cutting progress when you're eating this baby. And what you're going to do now, and you're going to use a different brush, I have another here, by the way, is you start marinating this baby. And you're trying to marinate, in essence, this side, the one with the big meat. And what I like doing is, I get my ingredients, the powder version, and I mix them up together. like some sort of adobo, if you will, for lack of better terms. This one designed specifically for these ribs. Some sort of rub or whatever. See how beautiful. See how it looks? Then what I do is I'm going to add this other stuff here too. The dry stuff. Now that mix it. And when you start doing this, you start putting some on top of this rib. And you start playing your magic. You start applying your magic. You start rubbing this baby well. And yes, I don't wear gloves. Because my hands are washed. And even, and it's going to be cooked anyhow. And even if you wear gloves, you're going to touch something else with those gloves. You're not going to wash your glove. So I like to wash my hands constantly after I touch meat or whatever. I have a nice looking soap. So you want to roll this, make sure you put some of that garlic too. This is critical. You don't have to overdo it, you do it to your taste. Because in addition to this, I'm going to be preparing a glaze that's going to take this to another level. See how I'm rubbing this baby. And if you want to, you can put some on this side too. Why not, right? Put some of the stuff here. Do the same. Put some of the garlic. Just rubbing this baby. Look how beautiful. You're going to bring the flavor. Bring that flavor. So I'm going to use a cast iron griddle. What you do, typically this is what I do. I put a little bit of oil. I'm going extra virgin. No, like just a little bit. I kind of brush it up a little bit and get this baby prepared. And while I do this, I have my oven preheating at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Put this baby here. Ain't that beautiful? Have to be careful. Let that baby cook. As the ribs are cooking in the oven, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start preparing my balsamic glaze. So basically 3 ingredients. You're going to use a little bit of soy sauce and I'm going to show you how much. You're going to need definitely your balsamic vinegar. And whatever kind of balsamic vinegar is going to be up to you. I choose today to go with the black currant balsamic vinegar. And this one particular brand was given to me as a gift by my friend Big Mike. And he got me this from a place named Taste. And, you know, I'm going to provide a link in the description. I was looking at some of the information here. This is located in Virginia, by the way. A couple of the stores. I like to support small businesses. Once again, that was a gift from a friend of mine. So black currant, but you can use any type of balsamic vinegar. Now the other thing you're going to need, you can use brown sugar, you can use honey, or you can use a natural sweetener that's replacing the sugar. And I'm going with the a plant-based one. I'm going to use this one here, Truvia, which is a plant-based sweetener. Keeping things real. Had the heat high just to get it thin high, but I'm going to reduce it to a couple notches above medium. So the first thing you're going to do, you're going to put some of the balsamic vinegar. Whatever amount you need. I'm a little bit liberal because my ribs are kind of long, and once again, this is you measuring it by eye pretty much, is to taste. Then you're going to add a little bit of, not a lot, just a little bit of your soy sauce. Soy sauce already has it has a lot of sodium, unless you have a no sodium or low sodium type. That's why you don't need salt. Now here comes the sugar part. If you're using, like brown sugar or whatever, I'm going to go, I have here tablespoon. And you might want to add a little bit of honey, if you're using honey, a little bit more. So what you do, and this stuff is smelling good, by the way, ooh, start mixing it up. Once again, you have this about medium, couple notches about medium. And this is enough for, what you're preparing. And you just let it cook for maybe 2 minutes. 2 minutes at most. That's pretty much it. You put it aside as your ribs are cooking. So it's been about 10, 11 minutes. And I'm watching because, it's lean meat. You don't want it to dry. But now it's time to start applying some of my glaze, homemade glaze. Here's the glaze here, and I'm going to start doing that now. Use my brush. See how beautiful. And this is going to add a nice taste. Nice taste, nice color. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put it back in. And I'm going to let it cook for several more minutes. See how beautiful? Listen to the sound of the music. So I left it there for about 5-7 minutes. I'm going to put a little bit more of this and leave it there for another couple minutes. You can see it's about done. You don't want the meat to dry. Once again, lean meat. You don't want to overcook it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the oven off and leave it sit there for about 3 minutes just to get the last glaze on. Turn it off. Just make it a couple minutes. And now I'm going to let it rest for about maybe 8-10 minutes.